back. Hey, it works. Yay! Wow, 7-1. Same. Do. Welcome, one and all. Welcome. Go ahead, have a seat. How's everyone doing? Really? All right. We are. If you come up here, you can wave to anyone who's online. Hello. 8. It had been 8:30 for a week. We did 1 week of 8:30. Yeah. It was weird. Anyways, so we're back. We're at 8. Let's play the Dysentery Trail. See if you guys can get further. Okay, yeah. This is all dependent on Lynn. Okay. So, has everyone's played? No, Jack and Jed, you haven't played really. You have played online, but you haven't played in person. Yeah, so last week. Jed, you killed us, didn't you, the first week? I thought it was Jed. My bad. All right, the Dysentery Trail. I love the music. Press start to play. Okay. The Dysentery Trail. You may 1. Travel the trail. 2. Learn about the trail. 3. See Terry's top trend. No. Number 1. What? Number 1. I heard number 1. Thanks, Elise. Okay. We're going to travel the trail. Answer number 1. You have chosen to travel the trail. Hey! The journey won't be an easy one. There are threats of wildlife, deadly terrain, and even bandits along the way. But if you can reach the end, your family will finally get to live in freedom. Yay! Grab your wagon and let's go. Okay, let's go on to the next question. You may 1. Nope, we did this one. Next question. Yeah, next question. Many different families made the trip along the Dysentery Trail. What was your family name? 1. The Oregon family. 2. The Furtick family. The Fraser family. The Campbell family. I heard number 4. So we're going with answer 4 on this one. The Campbell family. Welcome to the trail, Campbell family. Hey, we survived. Okay, next question. We didn't die on our last name. Hooray! The wagon is almost full and you have room for 1 more item. 1. Hunting gear. 2. Enough food for the journey. 3. The family pet turtle, Franklin. I heard number 2. Answer 2. Enough food for the journey. You have chosen food for the fam. We survived! Yay! Excellent. Okay, next question. As you leave town, you're stopped by a young man on a horse. 1. Don't trust strangers on the Dysentery Trail. Keep going. 2. He looks like a sheriff. Might as well stop for the law. What will we choose? I heard number 1 first. Answer number 1. You have chosen run away. We survived. Whew. That was close. I wonder if he was a bad guy. Okay, next question. We'll never know. Hey, is this the furthest we've made it? Night 1. It's time to figure out sleeping arrangements. 1, sleep in the wagon. 2, sleep in the tent. 3, sleep with no shelter. 2, I believe, was the answer I heard first. 2. You have chosen sleep in tent. We survived! Yay! Okay, next question. Mauled by a bear in a tent. Your caravan arrives at a raging river. 1, go around the river. It won't be too far, right? 2, make a raft for the wagon. What's the worst that could happen? 3, we don't need a raft. The animals will pull us through. 2, I heard 2. We're making a raft for the wagon. What's the worst that could happen? You have chosen raft the river. We survived! My heart is racing. All right. Next question. Guys, we're doing so good. You arrive at beautiful Funnel Mountain. 1, admire the view, but we don't have time to waste. 2, stop, have lunch, enjoy the afternoon. 3, you've got plenty of time. Let's stay the night. Number 1, I heard. Number 1, we're going to admire the view. No time to stop, though. And we survived. Yay! Okay, next question. On our journey, we stop in a little town of Derry. Have lunch at the local cantina. Buy weapons, ammo, and some more fishing gear. Say hey to the locals, but keep going. I heard 2. We're gonna buy weapons and ammo. Buy gear. And we survive! Good job, guys. I'm impressed. Next question. Ethan, you can come with me to Oregon. As you approach the end of the trail, you stop at a babbling brook. 1, fill up your canteen with crisp water to drink. 2, go for a swim. 3, stay the night, enjoy the calm, flowing water. Number 1. We're so close to Oregon. Number 1, it's the answer we heard. You have chosen drink water. We survived. Phew. Guys, we're so close. Next question. Last question. The anticipation's too much to bear. Okay, the end of the trail, just beyond the cliff. Go to the left and follow the trail down. 2, jump. Throw an early party. I mean, you're almost there. Okay. I did say whatever number I heard first would be the number that we chose. I heard number 1 first. Number 1. Number 1. Answer 1. We're going to the left. Congratulations! You survived the dysentery trail. It weren't easy, but you're free. When you look back on this experience, always remember what Grandpappy said. Don't worry about biting off more than you can chew. Your mouth is probably a whole lot bigger than you think. Great job, guys. I'm proud of you. Oh, no, we didn't. Whoa! We didn't jump. That was Mega Man. Yes, it was. It was Mega Man. All right, we're going to spend some time getting to know the rules a little bit better. I do want to bring this up because it's happened a lot. I know this is actually our last night of regular youth. Because next week is summer. Like, it's the last day of school, so it's done. But I do want to talk about this because it's happening a lot. If you need a drink, if you need to blow your nose, if you need to do number 1 or number 2, that is okay, but please do it before we start or before the lesson time, or hold all those fluids and solids in until after. Okay? Just wanted to say that. Respect yourself. Pay attention. Respect those around you. Don't distract them. Respect the space. Don't make a mess. And respect the leaders, of which I am one, Lori's one, Lynn is one, and Lynn's husband, Ed, is here tonight. Give a big wave, Ed. Everyone say hi, Ed.
We have to bring him in now. No, that's a terrible idea.
What? What?
I don't think anyone would be forced to climb tax in that sort of.
Oh, sad. If you're not on Discord, I'd encourage you to get there. It is the single best place to stay connected with Cornerstone. Actually, it's the second best place to stay connected with Cornerstone Youth, this being the first. The third, parents' email. Yeah, it's slow though, but it has all the information. But it comes out once a month. So... Rude. If you're not in Discord, give that guy a follow. That guy there. That's hard to do in backwards. Send him a request. He'll let you in. Next week, Summer is Funner. Season 6. It's all coming. It's all coming. That's all I got. If you go to summerisfunner.ca, you'll see our summer schedule. You'll also see a awesome video made by Molly for Summer is Funner Season 5. I brought that up. And I just had it playing on repeat today, just vibing in my office. Summer is Funner. It's fantastic. Speaking of Summer is Funner, this is our last week of regular youth night. Starting next week, we have our summer kickoff, which is going to be insane because there's going to be the cool bus treats. That's the one. Out in our parking lot, giving away ice cream for free for y'all. Also, because it is the last day of school, I have sent out emails to 20 little people. Midgets. No, little people. People who are in 6th grade are being invited up on that night. Now, you older bullies, be nice to them.
I refuse.
Be nice. Or no ice cream. Okay? I just saw that the Cool Treats bus posted that they have beef jerky in their bus too. So I don't know if it's like cold. It is like getting seafood at a steakhouse. Yes, we should do it. Yeah, like get moon mist in a cone with jerky on the side. Right in the middle of it. If you could roll the beef jerky into a straw. Yes, moon mist bits. Jerky bits. Moon jerky bits missed. Okay. Anyways, let's start the lesson. It's so thematic. Cinematic. It is very Tron-like, yeah. So we are in our final week of Back to the Future. We've been talking about how traveling to the past can help change our present and our future. We've had some fun. Tonight, I'm wondering, what's the moment in your life that you would want to travel back in time and relive? Not change, travel back in time and relive that moment. Jack, One con. The first? Yeah. That was epic. Jed. Ooh. Yeah. Yeah. Molly? Yes. Ethan? Wow. All right. Lauren? Wow. All right. Good choice. Gregory? Okay. Cody, you had your hand up? Okay. If I had to go back, well, not had to, if I got to go back in time and relive a moment, there's a lot of cool moments in my life. One of them, I think, would be flying in an airplane, like a little tiny thing. I'm in the back seat, and there's a pilot ahead of me, and there's a pilot beside, or my sister is beside the pilot, and I'm in the back, and we roll into this turn, and I look up, and my sister has long hair, and her hair is getting sucked out the side of the airplane. Like it's just going straight out the window. And I'm like, this is a little weird. And then we have like the headsets on, and the pilot says, don't lean against that door. It has a tendency of popping open. And it was the funniest thing I've ever seen because I've never seen my sister like freak out so bad and try and get away from the door. like she was right up on the pilot. I have no idea. To this day, I don't know if he was serious or if it was just something that he always says when he takes kids in an airplane like that. Like, I mean, as if I were the pilot, I would totally make something up like that. It'd be so funny, like the look of sheer terror that must come over kids' faces. Like, I was in the back. I didn't care. I was going to watch my sister get sucked out of a plane. That would have been kind of cool. I mean, at the time, it would have been sad. Yes, Greg. Uh-huh. When I flew home from Florida, it was probably my third time in my life of flying, and I had the roughest landing and thought I was going to die. Anyways, that's not part of the lesson. For some of us, having a time machine would be really fun to go back and relive some of the greatest moments in our life. Now, I want to talk to you about another movie clip. We've watched some really good movie clips, right? We've seen Bill and Ted the first week. Now, they caused chaos when they used their time machine. That's probably what'll end up happening if I get a time machine. Like, chaos will ensue. We looked at Doctor Strange, who I lovingly called Dr. Strang multiple times in the lesson. And he found out how to that time travel was possible while he was trying to find a cure for his shaky handitis, which I also share with him, except for I didn't total a $800,000 car to get. I'm just born this way. Last week we looked at Doc and Marty from the Back to the Future movie, and they did the time travel thing just because they could. Like, they weren't concerned, the scientists weren't concerned whether they should or not. They just proceeded on with it. In this clip, this is a clip of Harry and Hermione. Ooh. And they used time travel for a pretty... Now, I can't say that I would use the time flippy thingy like Hermione did for most of the movie. Well, actually, for most of the movie, she used it to actually do this. But how she got it was she actually wanted to take more classes than was physically possible for her. So she got the timey flippy duty, and she would go to a class, do the time travel thingy, go to more classes. Is that you? Would you do that? Depends. Molly would? Brendan?
I would probably use it to leave home when children very long.
And then and then your time clone would hand it in. It'd be great. Yeah, Hermione and Harry had a chance to turn back time in order to change the future. An innocent person was about to lose their soul, and an innocent hippogriff was about to lose his life. And that was an injustice that neither Harry nor Hermione could live with. And they weren't sure what to do or how to help, but Dumbledore gave them a hint. When in doubt, I find retracing my steps to be a wise place to begin. He also gave them a reminder, you must not be seen. This is a secret mission that they're on. And you probably won't ever need to travel through time in order to save someone's life. Spoiler alert, okay? That's probably not something that you're going to have to deal with. But if you could change the future, what would you change? If you could change the future, what would you change? Would you change something to better yourself? Like, I would make myself inherit $1 million tomorrow. Or would your change of the future benefit more people than just yourself? Would you solve world hunger? Make clean water available for everyone? Would you meet someone's needs even if you never got the credit for it? And how might retracing your steps help you on your mission? I'm always inspired by stories of people who selflessly help other people. They don't need a reason or a reward in order to give, to help, to support, to rescue, or love other people. And maybe these stories are so inspiring because they're so rare. And Jesus talked about a story like this, and it was the story of the Good Samaritan, right? We don't even know the dude's name. He just shows up, he helps a guy, goes on his merry old way, and we don't know who he was. But in reality, we often see things like this. We see social media curating posts and images, highlighting how kind and compassionate, selfless, and great we think we are. Or at school, we pass opportunities to love, to include, or stick up for others because it's a little inconvenient or it might hurt our image. Or at church, we strive to be seen as more good, godly, wise, or even humbler than others. That's not a real word, I made it up. This isn't a new problem. We as humans have been self-focused since the very beginning. In Jesus' time, religious leaders especially struggled with this. They even found a way to make prayer all about themselves. In Matthew chapter 6, verse 1, it says, "Watch out, don't do your good deeds publicly to be admired by others, for you will lose the reward from your Father in heaven. When you give to someone in need, don't do it as the hypocrites do, blowing trumpets in the synagogue and streets to call attention to their acts of charity." Can you imagine giving to someone with this hand and blowing a trumpet with this hand? Like, here you go. I did that. Crazy. I tell you the truth, they've received all the reward they will ever get. But when you give to someone in need, don't let your left hand know what your right hand is doing. Give your gifts in private, and your Father, who sees everything, will reward you. When you pray, don't be like the hypocrites who love to pray publicly on street corners and in the synagogues where everyone can see them. I tell you the truth, that is all the reward they will ever get. And when you fast, don't make it obvious as the hypocrites do, for they try to look miserable, honestly, and disheveled, so people will admire them for their fasting. I tell you the truth, that is the only reward they will ever get. But when you fast, comb your hair, wash your face, then no one will notice that you are fasting except for your Father, who knows what you do in private. And your Father, who sees everything, will reward you. So you know what prayer is, right? We're bringing requests to God. And in case you're unfamiliar, fasting is like the advanced form of praying. When people are really serious about asking God for something, they might fast or abstain or give up indulging in certain things. People fast from food, they can fast from technology, they can fast from caffeine or sugar. And when you fast, it's like you're saying, God, I really need your help with this issue. I really need an answer from you. Please help me. And so Jesus mentions the three spiritual disciplines in these passages: prayer, fasting, and giving to people in need. And these disciplines are supposed to give you a sense of greater dependence on God. And yet these people are misusing them. They are giving, they are praying, they are fasting, but not to connect with God. Their motivations are they want attention, they want to seem extra spiritual, and they want people to be impressed with them. And so Jesus calls them hypocrites. They're doing the right things, but they forgot why they were supposed to be doing them. And this wasn't the first time in history that it happened. Do you have a favorite quote? Does anyone have a favorite quote? Lori? Yeah. Anyone else? You have a favorite quote? You have a lot. Okay. Yeah, Molly. Ooh. Interesting. Ethan. Yeah. Yeah. Nice. Nice. Very nice, Jack. You never lose, you learn. Good. Yes. Yeah, so a lot of these, they're inspirational, they're motivational, they're awesome. Could be just something that makes you laugh. Whatever your favorite quotes are, I'm guessing they say something about who you are and what is important to you. That's probably why they're your favorite. Now, when Jesus was on the earth, he would oftentimes point back into history and quote from the prophets. Over the last few weeks, we've seen Jesus quote from guys like Isaiah, Jeremiah, and Amos. And this was to let everyone know who he was and what mattered to him. But even when Jesus wasn't directly quoting one of the old prophets, his teachings still would have sounded familiar to the people he was talking to. Hundreds of years before Jesus spoke the words that we just read, the prophet Isaiah was calling God's people out for their selfishness. They had been praying, they had been fasting, but God wasn't answering their prayers the way they wanted to. Isaiah chapter 53, verse 3. They're talking, "We have fasted before you," they say. "Why aren't you impressed? We've been very hard on yourselves and you don't even notice it." "I'll tell you why," I respond. "It's because you are fasting to please yourself. Even while you fast, you keep oppressing your workers. What good is fasting when you keep on fighting and quarreling? This kind of fasting will never get you anywhere with me. You humble yourself by going through the motions of penance, bowing your heads like reeds bending in the wind. You dress in burlap and cover yourselves with ashes. Is this what you call fasting? Do you really think this will please the Lord? No, this is the kind of fasting I want. Free those who are wrongly imprisoned. Lighten the burden of those who work for you. Let the oppressed go free and remove the chains that bind people. Share your food with the hungry, and give shelter to the homeless. Give clothes to those who need them, and do not hide from relatives who need your help. Then your salvation will come like the dawn, and your wounds will quickly heal. Your godliness will lead you forward, and the glory of the Lord will protect you from behind. Then, when you call, the Lord will answer, "Yes, I am here," he will quickly reply. Remove the heavy yoke of oppression. Stop pointing your finger and spreading vicious rumors. And just like Jesus, Isaiah's angry when he says this. He's angry at the way God's people were abusing prayer and fasting. In this case, God's people weren't giving to those in need at all. And they were using prayer and fasting as a way to boss God around. As if when they fasted and prayed in the right way, God would have to do whatever they wanted him to do. And Isaiah had news for them. You're doing it all wrong. They were worse than selfish, according to Isaiah. They were committing injustice, and that needed to change. Isaiah tells them to stop thinking about themselves for a minute and remember what God had called them to do. To stop taking advantage of other people, to loosen the chains of oppression, to set the oppressed people free, to share what they had, to take care of people who are without food, shelter, clothing, and to act justly. And when we choose sacrifice and justice as opposed to selfishness and injustice, Isaiah says that God will hear our prayers and will shine like light in darkness. And so in week 1 of this series, Back to the Future, when Jesus had begun his mission on earth, he quoted the same prophet, Isaiah. He quoted him to announce his purpose and his mission. And his mission was to set people free. And Jesus came to set people free spiritually, but that's not the only kind of freedom that Jesus came to give. When Jesus and Isaiah talk about meeting the needs of others, about clothing the naked or feeding the hungry, it's not a metaphor. He means it literally. When we participate with Jesus on his mission, it's not only about helping people to believe in Jesus to find eternal life, it's about meeting physical needs in this life as well. So when we become justice seekers, when we're working for the good of others, God can use us to change the future. And if you want to join Jesus on this mission, you'll need to remember the words of Jesus and the prophets. The way that Jesus set you free when you first met him. The way Jesus continues to set you free from the things that try and hold you captive. And the mission isn't about us. It's not about you. It's not about me. It's not about our reputation or our ego. The mission of Jesus is this. It's not easy. It won't get you a fast pass to hero status. It requires a lifetime of perseverance. It can't be done alone. The call to join Jesus on his mission is one we take together as God's people. Right now, we're surrounded by people with all kinds of needs. Physically and spiritually, people are needy all around us. And what will we do to meet those needs? Will we forget about ourselves long enough to remember what our mission really is? So how do we turn back time in order to change the future? How do we do the impossible without the magic time turner? We can do it by remembering the mission. Jesus calls us to remember. Together we can accomplish a lot. But there's still something missing. There's still something missing when we all gather together and we try and take on these big projects. We humans take matters into our own hands, and this is usually how things get messed up. No matter how hard we work at getting things right, we're usually missing something. In Isaiah's day, people devoted themselves to prayer and fasting, but they forgot to think about other people. They forgot to think about the needs of other people. In Jesus' day, people devoted themselves to fasting, prayer, and giving to those in need, but they forgot to set aside their pride. Today, what do you think we might be missing? There are probably a lot of answers to that question, but I think there's only one way to find out. We need to remember the mission of Jesus. And Jesus himself is the missing piece. If we don't keep Jesus the center of all the things that we do, we lose focus. We make it all about us. We'll either try and meet people's spiritual needs and forget about their physical needs, or we'll meet people's physical needs and forget about their spiritual needs. And so we've been invited to join God on this massive mission to help set captives free, to rebuild what's destroyed, to make the wrong things in this world be right. And the only way we can stay focused on our mission is to stay focused on the one at the center, and he is Jesus. In just a few moments, I'm going to play a video of a song. It's called Take Me Back. And as we listen to this song, I want you to remember who Jesus is to you. I want you to remember what Jesus has done in your life already. One of the big problems about coming to youth every week is that things sometimes go in one ear and out the other. And we get used to hearing about Jesus, and we stop seeing all the good things that he does in our lives. A lot of you have been to one conference. You had an awesome experience at one conference. You and Jesus were like this. Hands were raised as we're singing. And you came out home and you were on fire for God. You wanted to tell the world about the experience that you had, and then time kept going on. And that excitement started to dip. The God that you experienced, the feelings that you had, are the very same feelings that God wants to give you again as you join him in his mission. And the experience that you've had with God can all happen again and again and again. You see, Jesus calls us to remember. And remembering isn't just a one-time thing. Remember who Jesus is, what he's done, what his mission is, should be a daily discipline. We need to remember for ourselves because it's easy to lose focus and wander away from Jesus. We remember for others because other people still need to find freedom in Jesus, and they might need our help finding him. We need to remember for the world because there are so many wrong things that have yet to be made right. So as we watch this video, I want you to think back. I want you to remember all the things that Jesus has done in your life. And maybe you're here tonight and you're thinking, I'm not sure about this Jesus thing. I don't really have a relationship with him yet. That is okay. Here's what I want you to do as you listen to this song. It's real simple. All you have to do is sit there, listen to the words, and ask God, what do you want to say to me? God, what do you want to say to me?
I remember when I was young and you boys shouting loud. say it again. I remember I was afraid, and on the hand I felt lead the way. And for the first time in my life, I felt safe. Well, God, now that I'm older, would you lead me again? Oh, when the storm's out on the ocean and the violent wind gets to blowing, oh, take me back, back, all the way back. Oh, take me back to my first love. I remember when I was blind, and then your love opened up my eyes, and all the light that flooded my life. Well, now that I'm older, could you show me again? Oh, would you show me again? 'Cause when the storm's out on the ocean, in the violent wind gets to blowing, oh, take me back, back, all the way back. Oh, take me back to my first love. 'Cause you are real to me. I've known it from the start. And there's no space between the heaven and my heart. You are near to me. I've never been too far. Hey. And in the in-between, you brought heaven to my heart. 'Cause when the storm out on the ocean, and the violent wind gets to blowing, oh, take me back, take me back. Hey, oh, take me back, take me back. Hey, oh, take me. I wanna go, I wanna go. Oh, take me back to my first love, when it was all simple and loving was easy. When it was all simple and trusting was easy. When it was all simple and loving was easy. When it was all simple, hey, and trusting was easy. When it was all simple and loving was easy. When it was all simple and trusting was easy. Hey, when it was all simple and loving was easy. When it was all simple, hey, and trusting was easy. When it was all simple and loving was easy. When it was all simple, trusting was easy. Take me back to the start, God, where you won my heart. How could I ever forget? Hey, no, I will never forget. Hey, no, I will never forget. The night you saved me, I will never.
Let's pray. Lord, would you help us to remember Help us to remember when you were there for us, when we felt your presence. Like the song said, when it was all simple, when loving was easy, when it was all simple, and trusting was easy. Take us back. God, help us to remember your mission to set people free. God, you set so many of these students free. Help them to join you on that mission. And for the students that are still waiting, still seeking, still asking questions about what all of this really means, God, provide them with the answers. Provide them with everything they need to make this decision. God, we love you, and I ask that you would be with us tonight for the remainder of our time. Lord, would you be with anyone who's watching online? Keep them safe. And Father, as this is our last night of regular youth, but we've got a whole summer of fun ahead of us. Would you keep us safe this summer, and would you help all of these students to have a wonderful and give them the strength that they need to get through the last few days of school if they're still in school, and just a great experience ending off this school year. Lord, we love you and thank you again. In Jesus' name, amen. Okay, the playground out there is asking for people to come play on it.